Dr. Michael Brennan is Chief Hurricane Specialist at the National Hurricane Center. He joins us now from Miami. So, Dr. Brennan, the storm was a Category 4. It is now a Category 1. What does this mean in terms of potential damage as the storm progresses?
Well, I mean, Vlad, the thing that people need to realize is that while the winds are decreasing as Harvey moves inland, the rain threat is only going to increase over the next few days. We have very heavy rain near the core of Harvey that's centered now about 25 miles southwest of Victoria, Texas. And that's going to continue, and that can produce rainfall amounts of 4 to 6 inches in just a few hours for these areas that are going to be sort of trapped in that core of the storm. But then we also have these outer rain bands, as your affiliate in Houston was showing. You know, they're bringing these very heavy bands over the same area repeatedly for hours at a time, and that can cause very quick flash flooding and also the risk of tornadoes. But the real message here is that there's going to be a very slow motion. You're used to seeing our 5-day forecast of these tropical storms and hurricanes covering big, huge areas. Well, here's our 5-day forecast. It's all basically sitting over the middle and upper Texas coast all the way through the middle of next week. And that's going to lead to this tremendous amounts of rainfall of 25 to 35 inches in this area from Houston over to Corpus Christi into southwestern Louisiana, where we could see isolated totals as high as 40 inches. So we're really looking at a multi-day rainfall disaster in portions of southeast and middle and southeast Texas into southwestern Louisiana. So people don't want to let their guard down just because they hear that the winds of the storm are beginning to decrease.
And so, Dr. Brennan, storm surge was a major concern going into Hurricane Harvey. How much of a danger does this still pose to residents in the area?
We're actually still getting reports of storm surge levels of 5 to 6 feet above ground level of inundation, especially in the Port Aransas, Port O'Connor area this morning. So we still have a storm surge warning in this dark pink area in effect from south of Corpus Christi all the way up to including Galveston. So because Harvey is moving very slowly, there's this continued onshore wind off the Gulf of Mexico that's going to keep the water levels high and basically continue driving that water up onto the barrier islands and up into these bays and rivers. So the waters are only going to gradually subside as Harvey weakens over the next several days.
And so we're hearing that down the road, as officials have said, this could be a multi-day event, that there may even be some tornadoes associated with the storm. Why is that?
Well, in these outer rain bands, you can get little supercell thunderstorms that can spin up because the winds are changing with speed and direction very quickly with height, and that's sort of the key ingredient you need to have tornadoes form. There's actually a tornado watch in effect for much of the middle and upper Texas coast, and people do want to be alert for that potential and be on the lookout for any tornado warnings that are issued from the National Weather Service. They may hear about through the local media or on your cell phone alerts. These tornadoes in hurricanes tend to spin up very quickly, but they can still cause a lot of damage.
And finally, Dr. Brennan, as we've been saying over the past couple of hours, we know that this is not over just yet. What can people in Texas expect heading into the rest of the weekend?
Basically, very heavy rain in portions of the middle Texas coast, the upper Texas coast, all the way into the Texas Hill Country. This is our rainfall forecast out through the next several days. So we're looking at areas here. Everything inside of the yellow is 4 to 6 inches of rain, and that's going to extend all the way from southeast Texas all the way through the New Orleans area. So a very, very heavy rainfall event. And then still with the in the core of the storm here, as it slowly weakens, we are still seeing wind gusts this morning up to hurricane force both along the coast, and we expect that there are some hurricane force winds still near where the eye is decaying over near the Victoria area this morning. So again, a multi-day rainfall and flooding disaster. It's a good reminder that water is what kills about 70% of people in tropical storms and hurricanes in this country, both from storm surge and freshwater flooding.
Dr. Michael Brennan for us. Thank you, sir. We really appreciate it.
Thanks.